20 forgotten department stores that are no longer around. Remember Woolworth's lunch counters or Ames's big sales? Once beloved, these department stores are now just memories. What happened? In this video, we're uncovering the rise and fall of 20 forgotten department stores, the icons, the innovations, and why they vanished. Let's dive in. Hecht's. Hecht's was once a retail powerhouse along the East Coast, especially in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. What started as a modest shop in 1857 grew into one of the most recognizable department store chains in the region. By the mid-20th century, Hecht's flagship locations were sprawling, multi-story destinations that offered everything from high-end fashion to home goods, making them a go-to shopping experience for generations of customers. But Hecht's wasn't just another department store, it was a trailblazer. It was among the first to introduce revolving credit accounts, making shopping more convenient for customers at a time when cash was king. The company also played a key role in shaping modern retail by helping bring department stores to suburban shopping malls, changing how and where people shopped. Despite its innovation and deep roots, Hecht's couldn't withstand the wave of retail mergers in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. It was eventually acquired by the May Department Stores Company, which itself was later taken over by Macy's in 2006. Montgomery Ward. Montgomery Ward was, in many ways, the Amazon of its time. Founded in 1872, it revolutionized shopping by introducing the first-ever mail-order catalog. At a time when most Americans had to rely on local general stores with limited stock, Montgomery Ward brought an entire marketplace to their doorstep. Picture this: a thick catalog filled with over 10,000 items arriving in the mail. Furniture, clothing, tools, even entire house kits, delivered straight to customers, no matter how remote their location. By the early 20th century, Montgomery Ward expanded beyond mail order and opened physical stores across the country. Its catalog, famously called the Wish Book, became a staple in American households. Families would flip through the pages, dreaming of the latest fashions, home goods, and toys. During the Great Depression, the company stepped up to help struggling farmers, offering affordable equipment to keep small farms afloat. When World War II arrived, Montgomery Ward played its part by supplying essential goods for the war effort. But no retail empire lasts forever. By the 1980s, competition from rivals like Sears, combined with the explosive growth of shopping malls, chipped away at Montgomery Ward's dominance. Struggling to adapt, the company slowly declined, eventually shutting down for good in 2001. Woolworth's. Founded in 1879, it became one of the most recognizable retail chains in the world, built on the idea that everyday items should be affordable for everyone. This five and dime model made it the go-to place for just about anything: school supplies, toys, candy, and even pet goldfish. It was the kind of store where you could walk in for a quick errand and walk out with a little bit of everything. And then there were the famous lunch counters. In an era before fast food dominated the landscape, Woolworth's counters were the perfect spot to grab a sandwich and a soda while out shopping. But beyond being a convenient place for a quick bite, those counters became a powerful symbol of change. In 1960, the Woolworths in Greensboro, North Carolina, was the site of a historic sit-in by 4 black college students protesting segregation. Their peaceful demonstration ignited a wave of similar protests across the country, marking a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Despite its incredible history and reach, at its height, Woolworths had over 2,000 stores worldwide. The retail landscape shifted in the 1980s. Big box retailers like Walmart and Target offered lower prices and greater convenience, making Woolworth's business model outdated. Struggling to compete, the once dominant chain shut its doors for good in 1997. Burdines. Founded in 1898 in the small town of Bartow, it started as a modest dry goods shop, but over the decades, it transformed into a retail powerhouse known as the Florida Store. By the mid-20th century, Burdines had become synonymous with the Sunshine State, offering a shopping experience that embraced Florida's tropical lifestyle. What made Burdines truly special was its deep connection to the local culture. Unlike national chains that stocked generic merchandise, Burdines tailored its selection to Florida's warm weather, selling lightweight fabrics, resort wear, and beach essentials year-round. Walking past a Burdines storefront felt like stepping into a Florida vacation. Its vibrant, tropical-themed window displays were legendary, capturing the essence of the state's colorful, laid-back spirit. The holiday season brought an extra touch of magic. The Miami flagship store, in particular, became a major attraction, drawing crowds with its elaborate decorations and festive atmosphere. But as retail consolidation swept through the industry in the 1990s, Burdines' independence faded. It was absorbed by Federated Department Stores, the parent company of Macy's, and by 2005, the beloved Florida brand disappeared completely, rebranded under the Macy's name. Gimbels. Founded in 1842, it grew into one of the biggest names in American shopping, built on the promise that Gimbels has it, and they really did. Whether customers were looking for high-end fashion or everyday essentials, they could find it inside Gimbels' massive flagship store in New York City, which became a landmark in itself. But what really set Gimbels apart wasn't just what they sold, it was the way they did business. Unlike other stores of its time, Gimbels was all about making quality goods accessible to everyday shoppers, offering competitive prices without sacrificing selection. The company also played a major role in holiday traditions, launching its own Thanksgiving Day parade in the 1920s, an event that later became world famous when Macy's took it over. Of course, no conversation about Gimbels is complete without mentioning its legendary rivalry with Macy's. The two department store giants competed so fiercely that the phrase, "Does Macy's tell Gimbels?" became a popular saying, symbolizing cutthroat business secrecy. But even a retail powerhouse isn't immune to changing times. By the 1980s, as shopping habits evolved and malls took over, Gimbels struggled to keep up. Unable to modernize fast enough, the once mighty chain shut its doors for good in 1986. Do you have a special memory from one of these stores? Maybe a holiday tradition, a favorite snack bar treat, or a great bargain? Please leave your answer in the comments below. Marshall Field's. Founded in 1852 in Chicago, it wasn't merely a place to shop. It was an experience. From the moment customers walked through the doors, they were met with an unmatched level of service, a reflection of the store's legendary philosophy. Give the lady what she wants. This commitment to customer satisfaction set Marshall Field's apart, making it a beloved destination for generations. The flagship store on State Street was a marvel. Spanning multiple floors and adorned with opulent architecture, it was a true retail palace. But Field's didn't just look elegant. It was a pioneer in department store innovation. In 1881, it became the first to introduce an in-store restaurant, the Walnut Room, offering shoppers a refined dining experience beneath its stunning crystal chandelier. The store also revolutionized the shopping world by launching the first-ever bridal registry, a concept that's now a standard in the industry. For decades, Marshall Field's defined Chicago's retail scene, but a wave of ownership changes in the late 20th century signaled the beginning of the end. In 2005, Macy's acquired the brand, and by 2006, the iconic name disappeared, replaced by Macy's signage. Mervyn's. Mervyn's was the ultimate destination for shoppers looking for stylish, affordable clothing without the frills of high-end department stores. Founded in 1949 in San Lorenzo, California, It carved out a strong niche among middle-class families by offering great deals on fashion, home goods, and accessories. Unlike upscale retailers, Mervyn's had a laid-back, no-fuss atmosphere. Walking into one of its stores felt casual and comfortable, making it an easy go-to for budget-conscious shoppers. One of Mervyn's biggest draws was its legendary Super Saturday sales. These events became a tradition for bargain hunters, with deep discounts that kept customers coming back weekend after weekend. The brand's ability to blend affordability with trendy selections made it a favorite in suburban shopping centers across the West and Southwest. In 1978, Mervyn's was acquired by Target, which owned and expanded the brand for over a decade. But as the retail landscape changed in the early 2000s, Mervyn's struggled to keep up. Competition from big box giants like Walmart and Kohl's, combined with financial missteps and shifting ownership, put the company in a downward spiral. By 2008, after years of declining sales and failed turnaround attempts, Mervyn's filed for bankruptcy and shut its doors for good. Bonton. Founded in 1898 as a small dry goods store, it steadily grew into a regional retail staple, known for offering reliable fashion, home goods, and everyday essentials at affordable prices. Unlike high-end department stores that focused on luxury, Bonton built its reputation on practicality, appealing to budget-conscious families who loved a good deal. Sales and promotions were a huge part of what kept customers coming back. Bonton's weekly coupons and frequent markdowns made shopping feel like a treasure hunt, but nothing was bigger than its semi-annual Goodwill sale. This event encouraged customers to donate gently used clothing in exchange for discounts, making it one of the first department stores to integrate charitable giving with retail promotions, a tradition that many shoppers still remember fondly. For much of its history, Bonton remained a family-run business, but as retail trends shifted, the company struggled to keep up with big box stores and the rise of online shopping. Despite several attempts to restructure and modernize, Bonton couldn't regain its footing. In 2018, after years of financial difficulties, the company filed for bankruptcy and closed its remaining stores. Hudson's. Founded in 1881, it grew into a retail empire, with its flagship location becoming a symbol of the city's prosperity. At one point, Hudson's downtown Detroit store was the tallest department store in the world, standing as a monument to the golden age of shopping. But Hudson's was more than just a place to buy clothes or home goods. It was an experience. Walking through its grand halls, browsing floors filled with everything from fashion to furniture, felt like an event in itself. Beyond its massive scale, Hudson's played a major role in Detroit's economy and culture. Its annual Dollar Days sales were legendary, drawing in shoppers from across the Midwest, eager to score deals on everything from clothing to housewares. The store was also home to the world's largest in-store book department at one point, proving that Hudson's wasn't just about selling goods. It was about offering something for everyone. But like many downtown retailers, Hudson's struggled to adapt to the rise of suburban malls. As shoppers flocked to newer, more convenient locations outside the city, the flagship store saw declining foot traffic. By the 1980s, Hudson's was absorbed into the Dayton-Hudson Corporation, the company that would later become Target. The flagship store shut its doors in 1983, and by 1990, the Hudson's name disappeared altogether. Ames. Founded in 1958 in Massachusetts, it built its reputation by serving small towns and rural communities, places often overlooked by big-name retailers. Unlike upscale department stores, Ames wasn't about glitz and glamour. It was practical, affordable, and dependable, offering a wide range of merchandise, from clothing and home goods to toys and tools. At its peak in the 1990s, Ames operated more than 700 stores across the eastern half of the U.S., and bargain hunters loved it for its deep clearance sales. One of Ames's strategies was taking over locations abandoned by other struggling chains, keeping retail spaces alive in towns where shopping options were limited. This made it a go-to store for small communities that didn't have access to bigger competitors like Walmart or Target. However, Ames's success was overshadowed by financial struggles. In an effort to expand, the company acquired several failing retailers, including Zayre, which left it overextended and burdened with debt. At the same time, Walmart and Target were aggressively growing, offering lower prices and more modern shopping experiences. Ames simply couldn't keep up. After years of mismanagement and mounting financial losses, the chain filed for bankruptcy and shut down completely in 2002. How do you think shopping today compares to the experience of these classic department stores? Do you miss anything about the old way of shopping? Hills. Founded in 1957 in Canton, Massachusetts, Hills built its reputation on quality products at budget-friendly prices. It wasn't a high-end retailer, but that's exactly what made it so popular. Shoppers didn't go to Hills for luxury. They went because they could find everything they needed at prices that didn't break the bank. One of Hills's biggest draws was its toy section, an absolute paradise for kids. Walking through those aisles, filled with the latest action figures, dolls, and board games, was an experience many still remember fondly. And for parents. The real highlight was Hill's famous snack bar. Whether it was a soft pretzel, a hot dog, or the store's legendary popcorn, no trip to Hills was complete without a quick bite. It was a simple touch, but it created a welcoming, family-friendly atmosphere that kept shoppers coming back. Hills also stood out for its commitment to everyday low prices, ensuring that customers didn't have to wait for sales to get a good deal. But despite its popularity, the retail world was changing. In the mid-1990s, Hills was acquired by Ames, a move that, unfortunately, didn't save either chain. Ames was already struggling, and by the early 2000s, both Hills and Ames had vanished. Zayre. Zayre was a no-frills discount department store that thrived during the booming retail era of the 1960s and 70s. Founded in 1956, it became a go-to destination for shoppers looking for everyday essentials at bargain prices. Unlike upscale department stores with elaborate displays and high-end service, Zayre focused on affordability and convenience, offering a straightforward shopping experience where customers could find what they needed without spending a fortune. One of Zayre's biggest draws was its clearance and markdown sections, which became legendary among bargain hunters. Shoppers never knew what kind of deals they might stumble upon, making each visit feel like a treasure hunt. The chain expanded aggressively, particularly in the Midwest and along the East Coast, and by the 1980s, Zayre had grown to hundreds of locations, firmly establishing itself as a leader in the discount retail space. By 1988, the company made a major pivot, selling off its department store operations to Ames and shifting its focus to a more promising venture, the off-price retail market. This move led to the creation of TJX companies, the powerhouse behind TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. Caldor. Caldor was a beloved discount department store that once dominated the Northeast, offering shoppers an affordable alternative to high-end retailers. Founded in 1951, it quickly became a household name, known for its wide selection, competitive prices, and convenient locations. Families across the region relied on Caldor for everything from clothing and home goods to toys and electronics, making it a one-stop shop for budget-conscious consumers. One of Caldor's biggest innovations was its self-service shopping model, which was ahead of its time. Unlike traditional department stores, where clerks retrieved merchandise for customers, Caldor allowed shoppers to browse and select items themselves, an approach that later became the norm in retail. The stores were spacious, well-stocked, and designed for easy navigation, which made the shopping experience more efficient and appealing. For decades, Caldor thrived, expanding throughout the Northeast and cementing itself as a regional retail powerhouse. But as the 1990s brought increased competition from national giants like Walmart and Target, Caldor found it harder to keep up. Struggling under financial pressure, the company filed for bankruptcy in 1995, hoping to restructure. However, it couldn't recover, and by 1999, all Caldor stores had closed. Stewart's. Founded in 1907, it catered to a more upscale clientele, offering a refined shopping experience that set it apart from larger, more commercialized chains. While it never reached the massive scale of its competitors, Stewart's thrived by focusing on quality over quantity, earning a devoted customer base that appreciated its attention to detail and exceptional service. One of Stewart's most cherished traditions was its beautifully designed window displays, particularly during the holiday season. These elaborate, artistic arrangements turned the store's exterior into a festive attraction, drawing crowds who admired the intricate decorations even if they weren't shopping. Inside, Stewart's maintained a sense of sophistication, with well-curated selections of high-end fashion, home goods, and accessories that appealed to those looking for a touch of luxury. By the 1970s, Stewart's was sold off and gradually absorbed into other retail operations, marking the end of an era for Baltimore shoppers who had once considered it their go-to store for elegance and style. Riches. Riches wasn't just a department store, it was a Southern institution that shaped the shopping experience in Atlanta for generations. Founded in 1867, it grew from a small dry goods shop into one of the most iconic retail chains in the South, offering high-end fashion, home furnishings, and impeccable customer service. The flagship store in downtown Atlanta wasn't just a place to shop, it was a landmark, a destination that held a special place in the hearts of locals. Riches was particularly known for its magical holiday traditions. The Great Tree Lighting Ceremony, held annually on the store's rooftop, became a must-see event that signaled the start of the Christmas season. Families also flocked to ride the Pink Pig, a beloved children's attraction that added to the store's festive charm. These traditions made Riches more than just a retailer. It was woven into Atlanta's cultural fabric. Beyond its elegance and traditions, Riches had a deep commitment to the community. It was known for extending credit to struggling families during difficult times, showing a level of care and loyalty that went beyond business. However, as retail giants expanded and department store consolidations swept the industry, Riches began to struggle in the 1990s. It was eventually absorbed by Federated Department Stores, and by 2005, the Riches name disappeared, with all locations rebranded as Macy's. Which store do you wish was still around today, and why? Gottschalks. Founded in 1904, it started as a single shop, but gradually grew into a major regional retailer, known for offering a little bit of everything: fashion, home goods, and cosmetics, all with a personal, community-driven touch. Unlike national chains that focused on big cities, Gottschalks thrived in smaller towns and suburban areas, filling a niche where larger retailers didn't always reach. This commitment to small-town America was part of its charm. Shopping at Gottschalks wasn't just about finding what you needed. It was about friendly, personal service, where employees knew regular customers by name. Its clothing selection was another defining feature, offering moderately priced, stylish fashion that catered to families looking for quality without luxury price tags. However, as retail competition intensified, Gottschalks struggled to keep up with big-box stores and national discounters. The rise of online shopping and large-scale retail giants like Macy's and Walmart put increasing pressure on the chain. Despite its loyal following, Gottschalks couldn't overcome financial difficulties and filed for bankruptcy in 2009, closing all remaining stores. Bullock's. Founded in 1907, Bullock's quickly became known for its elegance, high-end fashion, and impeccable service. It wasn't just a place to shop, it was an experience. The original flagship store was a masterpiece of architecture, setting the standard for department store grandeur. Perhaps the most famous location was Bullock's Wilshire, an Art Deco gem that opened in 1929. This wasn't just another retail space, it was a glamorous, cutting-edge shopping destination designed for Hollywood's elite. It was one of the first department stores to cater to customers arriving by automobile, offering valet parking, a feature unheard of at the time. Inside, shoppers were treated to a refined, almost theatrical experience, with luxury boutiques, private fitting rooms, and even an upscale tea room. Bullock's prided itself on exclusivity, carrying designer labels and high fashion that weren't available anywhere else. It was a place where celebrities and socialites shopped, making it synonymous with LA's golden era of retail. But as the department store landscape shifted in the 1980s and 1990s, corporate consolidations changed everything. Bullock's was eventually acquired by Federated Department Stores, which later merged with Macy's. And by the mid-1990s, the iconic Bullock's name was retired. Lazarus. Lazarus wasn't just a department store, it was an institution in the Midwest, deeply woven into the history of Ohio. Founded in 1851 in Columbus as a small men's clothing store, it grew into one of the most trusted and innovative retailers in the country. For generations, families turned to Lazarus for quality fashion, home goods, and a shopping experience that felt both personal and grand. Lazarus was more than just a place to buy clothes. It was a pioneer in modern retail. It introduced air conditioning and escalators to department stores long before they became standard. It was also one of the first to offer in-store credit cards, making shopping more convenient for everyday customers. But perhaps its biggest innovation was the money-back guarantee, a now common practice that Lazarus helped popularize, forever changing how customers approached shopping. Beyond innovation, Lazarus was known for creating magical experiences, especially during the holidays. Its Christmas window displays were legendary, drawing families downtown year after year to admire the festive, beautifully crafted scenes. The store's attention to detail and commitment to customer service made it a cornerstone of Midwestern shopping culture. However, like many regional department stores, Lazarus faced growing challenges in the 1990s as national chains expanded. Federated Department Stores, which owned Lazarus, eventually merged its regional brands under the Macy's name as part of a corporate consolidation strategy. By 2005, the Lazarus name disappeared, replaced by Macy's signage. Elder-Beerman. Founded in 1883 in Dayton, Ohio, it started as a modest dry goods store, but gradually expanded, becoming a trusted name in affordable yet stylish shopping. Unlike large national chains, Elder-Beerman had a hometown feel, with stores often located in smaller cities and suburban areas, making it a go-to destination for communities that didn't always have access to big-name retailers. What set Elder-Beerman apart was its strong connection to local shoppers. It struck the perfect balance between quality and affordability, offering fashionable clothing, home essentials, and beauty products at prices that felt accessible. Customers didn't just see it as a department store. It was a familiar and reliable part of their town's shopping scene. However, like many regional department stores, Elder-Beerman struggled as retail trends shifted. The rise of big-box competitors and online shopping put immense pressure on traditional department stores, and despite its loyal customer base, Elder-Beerman couldn't escape financial troubles. The company declared bankruptcy multiple times, attempting to restructure, but ultimately, it wasn't enough. In 2018, Elder-Beerman closed its doors for good, marking the end of an era for many Midwestern shoppers. Though the stores are gone, Elder-Beerman is fondly remembered as a place where shopping felt personal, local, and part of everyday life. Gold Circle. Gold Circle was a discount department store favorite, a go-to shopping destination for families across the Midwest and Northeast during the 1970s and 1980s. Founded in 1967, it quickly made a name for itself by offering trendy, quality merchandise at budget-friendly prices. Unlike some discount stores of the era, Gold Circle prided itself on a clean, organized shopping experience with large, easy-to-navigate layouts that made finding bargains simple and fun. One of the things that set Gold Circle apart was its embrace of technology. It was an early adopter of computerized checkouts, streamlining the shopping experience and making checkout lines faster, something that was still a novelty in many stores at the time. Its seasonal sales were legendary, drawing crowds eager to snag deals on clothing, home essentials, and holiday gifts. Shopping at Gold Circle wasn't just about saving money. It had a lively, welcoming atmosphere that made it a favorite among budget-conscious shoppers. However, as the retail landscape changed, Gold Circle faced growing competition from emerging discount giants like Walmart and Kmart. Federated Department Stores, its parent company, began shifting its focus, and, as financial pressures mounted, the decision was made to shutter Gold Circle stores by 1988. 20 forgotten grocery stores that are no longer around. Remember when stores like Winn-Dixie and Food Lion shaped your weekly routine? These once iconic grocery chains have vanished from our neighborhoods. Curious what happened to them? Let's take a nostalgic look back and see how many you remember. Food Lion. Food Lion was founded in 1957 in Salisbury, North Carolina, and quickly became a staple grocery chain across the southeastern United States. The store was well loved for its affordable prices and no-frills approach to grocery shopping, offering customers a straightforward, budget-friendly option. Food Lion's lion mascot became a recognizable symbol of the brand, further embedding the store in the communities it served. One of the standout features of Food Lion was its MVP customer program, which rewarded loyal shoppers with discounts and promotions. This program helped build a strong customer base and made Food Lion a go-to for many families. It wasn't just about low prices, it was about rewarding those who kept coming back. However, the chain faced a major setback in the early 1990s when a damaging expose revealed poor food handling practices in some of its stores. The scandal significantly hurt Food Lion's reputation, and despite efforts to improve and rebound, the damage was done. Many stores closed as a result, and the brand struggled to regain the trust of its customers. Today, Food Lion is still around, but its presence is much smaller. The chain is now owned by Ahold Delhaize and operates in select regions, mainly in the Southeast. While it may not be the powerhouse it once was, Food Lion still holds a place in the hearts of many who remember its heyday as a trusted, affordable option for their grocery needs. A&P. Founded way back in 1859, A&P quickly rose to become the largest grocery chain in the U.S. by the mid-1900s. If you shopped during the 60s or 70s, you probably remember stepping into A&P. You were greeted by that famous red logo and the familiar scent of 8 o'clock coffee filling the air. But A&P wasn't just a place to grab your weekly groceries. For millions of families, it was a central part of the routine. The prices were affordable, and the quality was solid. I'm sure many of us still remember clipping those A&P coupons to get a better deal on everything from canned goods to fresh produce. However, as time went on, the supermarket landscape started changing. A&P struggled to keep up with the competition. Despite its dominance for decades, the company couldn't adjust fast enough to new shopping trends. After years of slow decline, A&P eventually closed its doors for good in 2015. Here's a fun little nugget. While A&P as a chain may be gone, its signature 8 o'clock coffee brand lives on. You can still find it in grocery stores today, which is a small reminder of the giant A&P used to be. Red Owl. Red Owl was a beloved grocery chain that was especially popular in the Midwest, with a strong presence in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas. Founded in 1922, Red Owl quickly became a staple in local communities, thanks to its bright red signage featuring a cartoon owl, which made the stores easily identifiable. The chain built a reputation for offering great service, focusing on community connections, and providing affordable groceries. For many years, Red Owl thrived as a go-to grocery destination. However, by the 1980s, the rise of larger national chains and increased competition took its toll. In 1988, most of the Red Owl locations were sold to Super Value, which eventually led to the closure or rebranding of the remaining stores. White Hen Pantry. White Hen Pantry, founded in 1965 in Elmhurst, Illinois, became a beloved convenience store chain, especially in the Chicago area. The store's appeal lay in its smaller, neighborhood-friendly format, making it the perfect spot for quick grocery runs, snacks, and everyday essentials. For many, White Hen Pantry was more than just a store. It was a familiar, accessible place that made running errands feel easy and convenient. One of White Hen's standout features was its deli counter, offering freshly made sandwiches and deli items, which set it apart from the typical convenience store. With its cozy layout and personable service, White Hen was ideal for those quick, last-minute trips when you needed something fast but didn't want to navigate a larger, more crowded supermarket. The iconic red and white logo became a symbol of neighborhood convenience, instantly recognizable to those who frequented their local stores. At its peak, White Hen Pantry had a strong presence throughout the Midwest, becoming a go-to stop for many families. However, as the retail landscape evolved and competition intensified, White Hen began to struggle. Faced with the expansion of bigger chains and changing shopping habits, the company couldn't keep up. In 2006, 7-Eleven acquired White Hen Pantry, and many of the familiar locations were either rebranded or shut down. Schwegmann Giant Supermarkets. Schwegmann Giant Supermarkets was a cornerstone of the New Orleans grocery scene and a pioneer in the supermarket industry. Founded in 1869 as a small corner store, Schwegmann grew to become one of the first true supermarkets in the country, shaping the future of grocery shopping. By the mid-20th century, Schwegmann was known for its massive stores, offering not only groceries, but a wide variety of products and services, all under one roof. What truly set Schwegmann apart, however, was its deep connection to local culture. The chain embraced the vibrant spirit of New Orleans, often featuring locally sourced products and highlighting regional favorites that gave the store a distinctive, homegrown feel. Schwegmann's newspaper ads became iconic, often filled with clever marketing and local references that resonated with the community. The chain was fiercely independent, resisting corporate buyouts when larger chains showed interest, a testament to its dedication to keeping its roots in New Orleans. Despite its strong reputation and community ties, Schwegmann faced increasing competition as larger national chains began to establish a foothold in the region. The chain struggled to keep pace with these expanding rivals, and in 1999, the last Schwegmann store closed its doors. Dillon Stores. Dillon Stores was a beloved regional grocery chain that played an important role in the lives of Kansans for decades. Founded in 1913 in Hutchinson, Kansas, Dillon's quickly grew into a household name throughout the state. The chain was known for its commitment to community, always striving to provide quality service and fresh products to local shoppers. Dillon Stores stood out for its focus on fresh and prepared foods, offering a variety of options that catered to the busy lifestyles of its customers. In addition, Dillon's was a pioneer among regional grocers in adopting health-conscious products long before it became a widespread trend. Throughout its growth, Dillon's maintained a strong presence in the community, with stores that felt like part of the neighborhood. However, despite its popularity and deep local roots, Dillon's was acquired by the Kroger Co. in 1983. Following the acquisition, the once iconic Dillon stores gradually transitioned into Kroger locations, and over time, the Dillon name was phased out. Food Fair, Pantry Pride. Food Fair, which later became Pantry Pride, was once a popular grocery chain that gained prominence in the mid-20th century, especially in the Northeast and Florida. What made Food Fair stand out during its early years was its focus on modern conveniences. It was ahead of its time, being one of the first grocery chains to introduce air-conditioned stores, offering customers a more comfortable shopping experience. This move set it apart from many other local grocers. In the 1960s, Food Fair underwent a major rebranding and became known as Pantry Pride. During this period, the chain continued to grow and serve communities with an expanding range of products. However, as the decades passed, competition from larger chains started to take a toll on Pantry Pride's success. Financial struggles ensued, leading to several rounds of bankruptcy. By the late 1980s, most Pantry Pride stores had either closed or been sold off to competitors. Despite its early innovations, Pantry Pride couldn't keep pace with the rapidly changing grocery landscape, and the brand faded away. What was your favorite thing about grocery shopping in the past compared to today? Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie was a beloved Southern institution for decades, known for its friendly service and that welcoming, community-centered atmosphere. Founded in 1925, Winn-Dixie became a go-to spot for families in the South, especially through the 60s and 70s. It wasn't just a place to grab your groceries. It was where neighbors would bump into each other, catch up, and share a smile. One thing that really stood out about Winn-Dixie was their slogan, "The customer is king." It wasn't just a marketing gimmick. It was part of their everyday experience. You could count on the staff to make you feel like family. But as bigger chains like Walmart began to take over, and with financial challenges of their own, Winn-Dixie's decline was hard to avoid. By the early 2000s, the company filed for bankruptcy. Despite this, through mergers and acquisitions, the Winn-Dixie name didn't completely fade away. Today, a handful of its stores still operate in the South, keeping the spirit of the original brand alive, even if the chain is no longer what it once was. Safeway. Safeway was one of the most iconic grocery chains in the U.S., particularly on the West Coast. Founded in 1915, Safeway quickly became a household name, recognized for its innovative Safeway house brands. Many of us remember the bold S logo and the distinct marina-style architecture of their stores, with those sweeping curved roofs and large glass windows that gave each store a modern, open feel. For generations, Safeway was the go-to place to grab just about everything you needed. In the late 90s, they even introduced some of the first self-checkout lanes, a groundbreaking move that made shopping faster and more convenient. But as competition grew fiercer, Safeway struggled to keep up. Over time, its presence began to dwindle, and after a merger with Albertsons, many Safeway stores were absorbed into the larger chain. Even though Safeway is far less common now, the brand hasn't disappeared entirely. Interestingly, some of those classic marina-style buildings still stand today, often repurposed into new businesses, serving as a nostalgic reminder of a once dominant grocery chain. Do you have a favorite memory from one of these stores that still makes you smile today? Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly holds a special place in grocery history. It was the first self-service grocery store in the United States. Founded in 1916 in Memphis, Tennessee, Piggly Wiggly completely changed the way people shopped for groceries. Before its invention, shoppers would give their list to a store clerk, who would then gather the items for them. But Piggly Wiggly turned that process on its head by allowing customers to walk through the aisles and pick out their own items. The store became known for its iconic pig mascot and its signature pink and white signage, which became a symbol of innovation. For many, Piggly Wiggly wasn't just a place to shop. It was the local neighborhood spot. Their catchy slogan, "Down the street, down the prices," captured that friendly, community-oriented vibe that was especially strong in the South and Midwest. While Piggly Wiggly is still around in some areas, operating under franchise ownership, the number of stores has significantly declined over the years. The rise of larger chains pushed many smaller stores out, leaving Piggly Wiggly a shadow of its former self. Eagle Food Centers. Eagle Food Centers, often simply called Eagle, was a beloved grocery chain that served the Midwest for over a century. Founded in 1900, it grew from a small local operation to a trusted name in the region, becoming a staple for many families. What set Eagle apart was its strong commitment to customer service and deep ties to the communities it served. The chain was known for offering quality products under its own Eagle brand, which became a hallmark of the store. Many shoppers still remember the weekly ads and the excitement of double coupon promotions, which made shopping there feel like a special event. Throughout the 1990s, however, Eagle began facing increased competition from larger national chains, which began to erode its market share. Despite attempts to modernize and stay relevant, the company struggled to keep up with the changing grocery landscape. Financial troubles soon followed, and by 2003, Eagle Food Centers filed for bankruptcy. The remaining stores were either closed or sold off, marking the end of an era for this once prominent regional chain. Buttrey Food and Drug. Buttrey Food and Drug, founded in 1900, was a beloved regional supermarket chain that operated primarily in the northwestern United States. Known for its unique combination of grocery and pharmacy services under one roof, Buttrey offered a convenient one-stop shopping experience that was particularly appealing to residents of smaller towns. The chain's commitment to friendly, small-town customer service helped it foster a loyal customer base. Despite its strong presence in the region, Buttrey struggled to compete with larger, more national chains. In the 1990s, the company was acquired by Albertsons, and most of its locations were either rebranded or closed. Genuardi's. Genuardi's, founded in 1920 in Norristown, Pennsylvania, began as a small produce market and grew into a beloved regional supermarket chain. Known for its focus on fresh, high-quality food, Genuardi's was a favorite for families in the Philadelphia area. The Genuardi family's hands-on approach to operations made it stand out, with a strong emphasis on customer service and community engagement. A standout feature was its bakery, which became a local favorite along with the chain's early adoption of organic products. In 2001, Genuardi's was acquired by Safeway, which marked the beginning of the end for the chain. Over time, many of its stores were rebranded or closed, and by 2012, the Genuardi's name had been phased out entirely. Finast. Finast, short for First National Supermarkets, was a prominent grocery chain in the northeastern United States, founded in 1899. Known for its commitment to value, Finast adopted the slogan, "First in quality, first in savings," which resonated with shoppers. The chain was recognized for its wide range of store-brand items and was an early pioneer in self-service shopping, offering customers more autonomy in their grocery trips. One of Finast's key innovations was its introduction of barcodes and scanning technology at checkout, making it one of the first grocery chains in the U.S. to do so. Despite these advancements, the chain struggled in the 1990s as competition intensified, leading to financial difficulties. By the early 2000s, most Finast stores were rebranded under the A&P name, and the Finast brand faded into history. Deschamps. Deschamps was a well-loved Southern grocery chain founded in 1921 in Mobile, Alabama. The chain became known for its large stores, wide selection of goods, and a strong commitment to high-quality fresh produce and meats. Deschamps was one of the pioneers in the region to embrace the concept of in-store bakeries and delis, adding a personal touch to the shopping experience. Customer service was a standout feature, and Deschamps earned a loyal following for its focus on creating a welcoming environment for shoppers. However, despite its strong presence, the chain struggled in the face of growing competition from national and regional rivals. In 1997, Deschamps declared bankruptcy, and many of its stores were sold off to Jitney Jungle, marking the end of the Deschamps era. Pathmark. Pathmark was a grocery giant in the Northeast, first opening its doors in 1968. Known for its huge warehouse-like stores, it quickly became popular for offering a wide range of products at affordable prices. Shoppers loved the convenience of being able to grab everything they needed in one place, often at any hour of the day, thanks to Pathmark's 24-hour service. The store was also famous for its bold, eye-catching advertising that really made an impression. One of the things that set Pathmark apart was its innovative approach to in-store services, like offering pharmacies before many other stores in the region. Despite all its success, Pathmark couldn't escape the pressures of modern retail, and by 2015, the company filed for bankruptcy. It was acquired by A&P, and while the original Pathmark brand is no longer around, Allegiance Retail Services brought it back as a private label in some of their stores, keeping a piece of this once-beloved chain alive in a different form. Superfresh. Superfresh made its debut in 1982, carving out a space in the northeastern U.S. grocery scene as part of A&P's family of stores. It quickly became a go-to destination for shoppers who valued fresh, high-quality produce and a wide selection of goods in clean, well-lit aisles. The in-store bakery and deli sections were standout features, offering freshly baked goods and ready-to-eat options that kept customers coming back. Superfresh also introduced a loyalty program, giving shoppers more reasons to make it their preferred store. Notably, the chain was ahead of its time in embracing environmentally friendly practices, earning respect for its efforts to reduce its ecological footprint. However, by the 1990s, Superfresh faced increasing competition and financial challenges that mirrored the struggles of its parent company, A&P. Over time, stores began closing or rebranding, and by 2015, the once popular name had mostly disappeared, with many locations either shuttered or taken over by other chains. Superfresh remains a nostalgic memory for many who appreciated its commitment to quality and innovation. Grand Union. Grand Union was once a major grocery chain in the Northeast, with a history dating back to the 1870s. By the mid-20th century, it had grown into one of the largest supermarket chains in the region. What set Grand Union apart was its focus on fresh, local produce, which earned it the loyalty of many shoppers. The bakery section was particularly popular, with many customers fondly remembering the fresh bread and pastries that would fill the store. Another standout feature was Grand Union's checkerboard private label brand, which became a household name for many. The products, which ranged from everyday essentials to unique treats, were known for their quality and affordable prices. Despite its strong foothold in the Northeast, Grand Union faced increasing competition from larger national chains. The company tried several times to restructure and adapt, but the financial strain was too much. By the early 2000s, Grand Union had filed for bankruptcy multiple times, and most of its stores were either sold off or shut down. Though the original chain is gone, the Grand Union name has been revived by C&S Wholesale Grocers, which now uses it for some of its independent stores. Lucky Stores. Lucky Stores was a beloved grocery chain that truly left its mark on the West Coast, especially in California. Founded in 1935, Lucky quickly became a favorite for its friendly service and the signature bright red signage that made it stand out in the neighborhood. One of the most recognizable features of Lucky was its iconic red bags, used for bagging groceries, a small detail that many customers fondly remember. But Lucky was more than just a place to pick up your everyday essentials. The stores were known for their in-house delis and bakeries, where shoppers could grab freshly made meals or treats. Lucky also earned a reputation for its customer service, particularly with their three's a crowd policy. If there were more than 3 people in line, Lucky would open a new checkout lane to keep things moving, ensuring that no one had to wait too long. Despite all its popularity, Lucky couldn't avoid the pressure of growing competition. In the late 1990s, the chain was bought by Albertsons, and many of its stores were either rebranded or closed altogether. Though the Lucky name faded in most areas, its legacy of good service and customer-friendly policies remains a cherished memory for many West Coast shoppers. Alpha Beta. Alpha Beta was a well-loved grocery chain that served communities across California and the southwestern United States. Founded in 1915, Alpha Beta stood out for its unique approach to organizing groceries. The items were arranged alphabetically. This innovative system was designed to make shopping easier and more efficient, and it quickly became a favorite among shoppers who appreciated the simplicity it brought to their weekly trips. The store was especially popular during the post-World War II era, becoming a familiar part of the community. Many people still remember the catchy Alpha Beta jingle that played on TV and radio in the 70s and 80s, a tune that helped cement the store's place in the hearts of shoppers. In addition to its innovative layout, Alpha Beta was also one of the first grocery chains to introduce loyalty programs, which rewarded frequent shoppers with discounts and special offers. This move helped keep customers coming back, even as larger competitors began to grow. However, as the grocery industry evolved, Alpha Beta struggled to keep up with bigger chains. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the chain was gradually sold off, and many of its stores were rebranded as Ralph's or Albertsons. Dominick's. Dominick's was a beloved grocery chain that served the Chicago area for nearly a century. Founded in 1918 by Dominick DiMatteo, an Italian immigrant, the store quickly became a cornerstone of the community. Dominick's gained a loyal following thanks to its focus on fresh, local produce and its reputation for quality meats and bakery items. Customers could always count on the store for top-notch deli selections and freshly prepared meals, making it a popular stop for busy families. One thing that set Dominick's apart was its personal touch. The stores made an effort to create a more intimate shopping experience, where customers were treated like neighbors rather than just shoppers. This community-oriented approach helped Dominick's grow into one of the most popular grocery chains in the Midwest. By the 1980s and 1990s, Dominick's had expanded rapidly, but as the grocery industry became more competitive, it began to struggle. In the late 1990s, Safeway purchased the chain, and over time, many of Dominick's stores were either rebranded or closed. The once popular chain's presence in Chicago slowly dwindled, and by 2013, the last Dominick's store closed its doors for good. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. Big Bear Stores. Big Bear Stores, founded in 1933 in Columbus, Ohio, holds a significant place in grocery history as one of the pioneers of the self-service shopping model in the U.S. At a time when most grocery stores required customers to ask clerks for assistance, Big Bear flipped the script by allowing shoppers to pick out items directly from the shelves themselves. This game-changing approach revolutionized how people shopped and made Big Bear one of the first stores to introduce what we now consider a typical grocery shopping experience. Their slogan, "The store that's all yours," reflected this sense of independence and empowerment for customers, which became a hallmark of the Big Bear experience. The chain was also known for its large warehouse-style stores that offered a wide selection of products. Big Bear was committed to making shopping convenient and affordable, with weekly promotions that kept customers coming back. They were dedicated to serving the local community, further cementing their place as a trusted brand. Despite these strengths, the rise of larger national chains with more extensive resources eventually took a toll on Big Bear. As competition grew, the company struggled to keep up and couldn't maintain its footing in the increasingly crowded grocery market. By 2004, after years of decline, the last of Big Bear's stores closed, marking the end of an era. Which of these stores do you remember? Did we miss one of your favorites? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, check out our other videos on forgotten stores and retail history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves nostalgia. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.